Okay, we are almost live, and now we're going to go live on SDF as well. Oh my gosh. We are half live right now. We're kind of like a zombie. We're the living dead at this moment. We're on some platforms and not others.
I love it.
Okay, now we are, I want to say fully live. Okay, I think we're fully live. So hopefully people will start to come in. But
well, and whether they do or not, the important thing is this is a show for three. This is the three of us, and this is the premiere of Be Positive. This is a show. Exactly. And what we've done with this, Maggie, and thank you so much for joining us on the premiere.
Our first ever guest on Be Positive. Ever.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We see that that in the world there is a lot of stickiness for what's gone wrong. In the news business, what we call is that we say if it bleeds, it leads. This is what generates the clicks and all. So it ends up that the positive things, the things that are going right, the things we're exploring, the things we're learning, end up being very weak muscles. So here we're here to work that muscle out, and that's why we asked you to be on the show first, is because you're out there, you're learning, you're growing, you're putting your new comedy, you're putting leading edge comedy. This is just so exciting to be able to have you on, Maggie, because what you're talking about is so much of where the world needs healing. Yeah. And it's just tremendous.
Yes, and Maggie asked us right before we went on, we said, let's do it live. We all had tears in our eyes because this is a big moment. We love you, Maggie.
It is
We're
for
big
me.
Fans of yours, big moment. And we wanted you, and I've been celebrating and he's been celebrating, and we talk about you all the time. It's called ethical stalking, I've found out. It's called ethical. We do it ethically, ethical gossip and ethical stalking. It's all very positive. Yes. But so you asked about the Tardan Media Network. So this is Dennis Tardan, of course. And so what we do on this network is
Renee is by the way, Renee is the chief operating officer. So I want you to think of this as that I am the sizzle and she is the steak. Okay. You get that. I mean, she makes the train that makes it happen, does all the work. She's chief marketing officer. She's the chief operating officer of the network. Yes. And I get to have my name on
the hair hat wearer.
Exactly.
This is a hair hat, of course.
Right.
Now, yes, he gets right. It's just incredible. But Dennis, of course, has been in broadcasting for almost half a century. So we are building on his legacy. He had a show out in LA back in the late 70s and then in Austin. And now we're doing it live interactive television, all positive and expanding and elevating the culture and everything that you stand for, Maggie. So basically you're like the mascot. If I were to have a mascot for the network, it would be Maggie.
Exactly. And it would also be
funny and beautiful and courageous.
So can we show, Renee, could we show a clip to be able to demonstrate?
Let's intro her and then we'll let her talk and then we'll let her talk.
Not tell, and then we'll go ahead.
I need to, somebody insult me. I need to get a little humbled.
You're too awesome, Maggie. You're too awesome. We're not allowing you to speak.
That's the best insult that she can give you.
Oh, God.
And Robert is here, by the way. I want to let you know, Maggie. Robert is here. He's on SDF. He's watching on SDF. Hello, Robert. Okay. So I want us to react to this one. Went viral, which we can see why. This is the cat one.
Go ahead.
Dennis, I want you to see this. Oh,
I'm ready.
Gosh.
Go
this
for
is
it.
So funny. Okay.
Are you feeling a little down in the dumps today?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what you're feeling?
Sad.
Do you want to talk about it?
No.
Do you want me to just leave you alone?
Yeah.
Can you think of anything that will make you feel better?
Yeah.
Well, let me just get you some.
Thanks.
The visual, the physical comedy. There's not a word spoken. Maggie doesn't have to speak a fucking word, and she's hilarious.
That is wonderful. Where did you take us through from the idea to the publishing of that?
Oh, golly. So I'm so grateful for all of this praise. I'm afraid I'll disappoint you. It's just
it's impossible. It's impossible. You saw even the cat likes you, Maggie.
Go ahead.
Gosh,
Even the sad
do
cat.
wonder if the sad cat saw that ever, but that would be really nice. But anyway, I it's just a TikTok account where they dub over their cat to
Right.
speak like it's like I think it's her kid's voice dubbed over the cat meowing. And I was eating a sandwich and I saw the TikTok and I started crying, and so I said, I'm just gonna record myself crying eating a sandwich while watching the cat, because it was just very real. And for some reason that is like the one video that I have on my TikTok that people really like it's
So
still getting views.
far.
It's
This
so
is right. We always want to say so far at the end, because that's where we're going. Because everybody, we all start at a place, and so you began creating when? When did you begin creating content for the internet and doing that?
Oh gosh. Well, I guess. Oh God, did you guys go away?
No, we're still
No,
here.
we're here. We're
we'll
here.
stay here. We'll stay
Yeah.
here. We'll stay
Yeah,
here.
I mean,
That
yeah,
was me.
exactly.
I pushed a button because I wanted to see
That's
you
so
better, but it's
cool.
okay. We're here.
You like do like oh wow, that's really.
Look,
this
I
is
can
a
do
cool
that, or
platform.
we can just highlight you.
Ah!
No, I like it. I like it.
That's freaking
Magic
awesome.
fingers.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I guess I think maybe like the first thing that I guess stand up was probably the first thing that I was posting on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I've been an actor taking acting classes since I was like 5 years old. Not really writing stuff for the online world until
Right.
much more recently, actually.
And so what tell me about the character, and because a lot of what we're doing, one of the things that I have really felt for most of my life, and this is, see, I grew up in South Texas, and one of the things when I looked out, and my great uncle, was like my grandmother, would say, well, he'd point at a guy and he'd say, well, that's mighty much a man. And I would sit there and I would look inside of me. I would look inside of me and go, fuck, that is nothing like I am. How could I possibly ever at all live up to what a man is supposed to be? Because I didn't feel on the inside that I had the same thing. I went out and I like to hang around the girls. I like to spend time with them, and I want to do. And so I came up with this routine that I did out and began out in LA, and that I worked.
Dennis does stand up as well and
Amazing.
improv as well. Yeah, he
And
does both.
that I had imprinted on my mother's personality, and that my mother, my writing partner for many years, Cynthia Solomon, and that she told me that I had imprinted on my mother, and that I actually had my mother's personality. So that in growing up inside of me, that I had and that was true, because I was very much an actor. I was out there. I had so much of the empathy. I mean, I was so much like her. The only difference is that I wasn't attracted to men like my mother was. And so I figured that, my female personality is gay. So that has to be that was the only thing that made any sense to me, that I have the personality of a lesbian in my male body. And so everything all worked for me at that time. And so then as we come on, we're beginning to see gender studies. We're beginning this word spectrum. To where we're all along the spectrum, that this binary state that I grew up in is, we're going, and you have invested right there in your comedy. You've invested right there in the work that you're doing. And I'm so proud to be able to see you doing it, to be able to speak for us.
Can I play a stand up before she responds? Maggie,
God,
can I
I'd
play
love that.
I want to do your coming out stand up. It's so funny. It's short. Let me just see. Let
Please.
me get it, please. I want, because I also didn't want Dennis to watch this, but
Sure.
this really, and Robert says that, okay, now he's here and he's queer. That's what Robert is telling us. So thank
That's
you,
right.
Robert. So here, let's watch this one.
I feel like I didn't have that like sexy reveal that you're supposed to have when you're 12. Like the closest thing that I got to was coming out. I came out at 23. I'm currently 23. And even that, it wasn't like a very like elegant, exciting surprise for anyone. Like I was like, guys, like I think I'm gay. And people were like, yeah, you're literally eating my pussy. Safe bet. And I'm like, oh, like, okay, well, like, how's it going?
No one was surprised. How much truth is in your stand-up? Like, do you do a lot of like personal truth, or were you just riffing on that, or was that true to how you came out?
A lot of yeah, I mean, yes, it is mostly a lot of just stories, almost exactly how they happened, but maybe with like a little bit of like me commenting on them from like
Absolutely.
a now perspective. But I was not literally having sex with women while I was coming out. It wasn't that clear, but it was less of a surprise to other people than it was to me. Because I like, I mean, me coming out at 23, I'm currently 26, like, so that's like not very long ago, was really just me like coming out to myself. Like
Sure.
I have very, very supportive parents, like thankfully, and I have incredible supportive friends and community. So like it wasn't really a big deal in my circles in that same way. But it was a big deal for me to like finally have permission and like to give myself permission, and also to like find a community of women that I related to in a really strong way. Because I came out when I was in a lesbian roller skating play at Wow Cafe.
That's a lot of that's a lot of interesting words to pack into one sentence.
Yeah.
I'm visualizing what that would look like. It's basically awesome. Yeah.
It was so much fun. My roller skating got cut the week of the show because I couldn't figure it out. And it was dangerous for me to do it. But it was great. I was the only one that didn't roller skate. Anyway, but I was just like suddenly around only queer women for the most part, or queer and non-binary folks. And I just like, I don't know, like it was just like suddenly so much freedom in a way that like I hadn't experienced before without like men around to feel worried. To feel like and like not even like knowing like consciously that I was putting that on myself to be worried about what any man in any situation was thinking of me.
Right.
But just like, you know, like the big broad overarching big brother of manness.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Exactly.
And so I just I had a huge revelation to myself where I was it was like a literal like catharsis of
God bless you.
What'd you say?
He's doing a joke. Garth, that was a terrible joke.
I'm sorry. It was
like a gesundheit joke, but it fell flat. That was not.
I like it.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
Anyway, I apologize,
like
but I'm just so excited about
he
being
does
on
this to me,
screen
Maggie. He and I are having so many fights because every time I try to get to a really profound moment in a conversation with him, he does some shit like that. Okay.
All right. Anyway, continue with the catharsis.
We want to hear you.
When I had that catharosaurus, it was me watching if I can be vulgar on this
yes,
podcast.
we're very vulgar. We're vulgar people. Go hard.
We're a vulgar
shit.
centric.
Yes.
Please.
We encourage it even. Yes.
I didn't know what the L word was, and I was watching these like the fan made clip the videos on YouTube from the L word about the character named Shane, and I was masturbating furiously and crying hysterically, and that's when I realized that I am pretty damn queer. That's how that story came to be.
Usually that's the indication. I feel like that's an indication that there was something your body and your mind and your soul was telling you. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah. No, that's a beautiful thing though. But how did you work through it though? Like, who was the first confidant? Like when you have to tell yourself, right?
Yeah.
So that's a process. Then the next thing is who do you Who do you talk to about something like that?
It's a great question. I was lucky that like my cast and I were so close. We were all so close, and they were all queer people. And so getting to talk to them and like getting to be like, I think I'm gayer than I realized. Because like I think up until that point I had been like, oh yeah, I make out with ladies at parties because that's what all women do, don't they? All ladies just like ladies. I didn't know. Not all ladies like ladies.
Not to that level, maybe.
Maybe not. Yeah, exactly. It's a spectrum. And so I was very lucky that I was just kind of like in the middle of this really amazing group of people that like just like were like, oh my God, hi, welcome. So glad you figured it out. So glad you came to the party. And then I like slowly like was like talking to more friends about it. And people were like, oh yeah, like I thought like you like knew that for sure. And I was like, yeah, but I didn't like know, like, you know, like I didn't like no, you know? And they were like, no. And now I know. That's the
that is so cool. I mean, because so cool, all of us have to figure out just exactly what, I mean, I know just, I remember as a 6-year-old child, I would hang out underneath the jungle gyms looking up little girls' skirts. I mean, it was like, it's, you know, because when people say, well, it's a choice, I say, well, it might have been a choice for you, but I'm just wired that way. It's a wiring, and so it's not something that I ever actually had a choice in. So it's not, and I can so understand, because I have nieces and I have so that are so much along the spectrum, and I love it. It's so freeing to me. It's so freeing to be able to look at things in a continuum instead of looking at things in a binary state.
Which is all like exactly what I think that coming out period of my life was like. It wasn't just about who I was attracted to and like being like freer to express who I was attracted to. It was also about like literally how I like behaved in the world, like how I carried myself, and like how I just like had this amazing like renaissance period that summer where I was just like, oh my God, like I now understand what nuance is because of queerness. I now understand what like being able to be like, it was just like an entire opening of like exactly who I am as like a femme, but also like not that like we even need to like define it in those ways, but just like everything about me just finally began to like sit, and I began to just be very, very at peace with myself. That was the really amazing thing about that time in my life.
Yeah, because it's a real thing. What I'm learning from you, Maggie, and from a lot of other wonderful people is like, yes, it's because when I was younger, I'd always say, but it's not an identity. Why are you saying identity? Why is it not just compartmentalized? Your sexuality is just this other little thing or whatever. And now I see your smile, right? Because it's like, holy shit, that is so fucking not true. It informs what you said, how I interact with the world, how I interact with other people. So there's a completeness, which is why some people will say, if you are going to malign my identity, my sexuality, like you can't understand me.
Yeah.
And
it's wonderful.
That was an evolution for me. I'm learning that right now. And it's helping me feel complete. You know?
Because Renee's first name is Rebecca, and so we call her Becky. And because she is, and she's the perfect. This is what's so neat about her, is because we call her binary Becky, because everything is very black and white. No, I'm everything. No, I'm serious. I am serious. I know I'm serious. She was everything in her mind was black and white. So you're in the past.
Now
you admit,
I'm evolving.
But you're evolving. This is why we don't on our network, we don't use the term woke. What we do is we use the term waking. Because every single day every single day I get more and more. I wake up more. There's more to learn. There are biases and unconscious biases and conscious biases that are there that I have to work through. So I'm not there, but I'm getting there. And so your patience with me and your patience in helping me on how I'm growing, especially when I do something like step on a landmine or do something or say something that is unthinking, that you're willing to say, I don't think you know what you just
Right.
said. Let me rewind and let's work through that together. And that's where I think you can help me so much. And I know of course you can help Becky because, well, she needs help.
I
But
need help.
but
We are
that's
having-
okay. She
we-
knows she knows she needs help, and that's
I
the
need
lovely
help
thing.
here.
I need
Right.
help.
I'm learning.
I
We all
know.
need
I
help.
know. She's finally admitted that she needs help, and thank
I-
God. Step one is acceptance.
I get these like I
need
get
help.
rashes when he talks like that, Maggie. Sometimes I scratch myself right here. Like I get this little rash.
Man.
No, wait. We have a thing about pronouns. We have so many questions about pronouns. And Dennis, you also wanted Sandy has been going through. Sandy D's been asking about pronouns. I'm learning about pronouns as well. Dennis wants to know about pronouns. Maggie, tell us all about pronouns and why they're important. You have to solve all of this problem for all of us. So
Well, I am the pronoun fairy. Thank you for having me.
it's all no pressure, but you have to solve this problem right now for the
Yeah.
world in 9 minutes.
Well, I to be fair, I am probably not the best person. I'm not the expert, but if you're having trouble with like literally just like in your mouth, like it's just like you feel like
Sure.
you're self-conscious about like what if I like mess up, like oh no, like I don't
Sure.
want to do the wrong thing to people.
Mhm.
I also when I first met I was going to be working with an actor in the lesbian roller skating play that their pronouns are they them, and I was like getting really really worked up. Like I can just like I'll speak personally about it. I was like, oh my god, like if I mess up, I'm gonna die. I do not want to mess up their pronouns.
Yep.
So I like did
Mhm.
practice. I practiced by myself, just like talking to myself and like being like going through the script and being like, okay, if I have a question for them, like in this part, like I'll ask it like this, or like, and so like literally like practicing in my mouth, kind of things like that. And also, like reading things written by people who have all spectrums of pronouns, and really the consensus that I've found is that like if you mess up, it's okay, it's really okay. I mess up my words all the time. Everybody messes up their words. The worst thing to do is if you go they, oh fuck, I'm so sorry, I'm now making it a big deal about it, please console me because I didn't mean to. It's that, like, you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
when instead you could be like oh sorry, they, and continue with what you were saying, because like we make mistakes all the time, like you were saying. Like everyone needs a certain amount of patience and generosity.
I feel like if they know we're trying, right? Like if you're abroad and you try to use the local language and you fuck it up, at least you're showing that you're trying.
Absolutely.
I think
It's
the
not offensive
intention-
for you to refer to yourself as a broad.
me? No.
She
So
did.
bad.
She
Those
said if
puns.
you're
That
abroad,
is so fucking no.
if-
It's so wrong. It's just wrong. It's too many. Look at Maggie. Maggie's face is. I'm gonna play another Maggie because we're running out of time, and I want to play another Maggie. Hold on. This one is it's my secret favorite.
Oh,
I like the cat one, but I have to do this, and I just please let me do this. Okay, this is in my head all day, every day. I sing this to myself.
Depressing depression meal.
Canned soup in a measuring cup. Sometimes it's beans and oatmeal in a measuring cup.
I sing that all day long. How did you come up with that melody? It's amazing.
I don't
No.
I don't
secretly
think I
wanna play
did. I'm sure it could be from something. It kind of has like the weird like blop, like I don't know what that sound is. Like when like bop, ba-da, bop, bop, like that's the sound that's in my head all the time. And I
Tell
also
us about the measuring cup. Tell
What'd
us
you say?
about the measuring
Oh,
cup. I read somewhere you said that you like it because of the handle, that you don't measure with it, but you just like the handle. It's comforting.
Absolutely.
it does.
I
It
do
feels
some-
good.
Absolutely. I do sometimes measure with it, but when I'm eating out of the measuring cup, I have probably not measured with it, because anything can go in there, and it's so great because the handle doesn't get hot, and so it's like, oh god, it's just so perfect. And like then for like soups, you can it's just like you have the little spout thing, because it's a measuring cup, and so you just tilt it back, and it's just so good.
But
What
how
a
did you
love-
know that would be funny though? Like, because you have to have a lot of courage to be a little weird, right? Like,
For sure.
that's something that I would do, but then I would be like, oh, it's too weird. No one, it won't resonate with anyone. But yet it does. That's the very stuff that does resonate. So how do you?
I was shocked that it resonated with because it's getting weirdly more traction on Instagram than it is on TikTok, and it's like I didn't know that anyone would relate to that at all, and I think that that's the thing.
Are you learning to trust yourself more, and beginning to say, wait a minute, I'm going to give this a shot in this because that's a really big place.
I feel like I am in a constant, as of right now, I'm in a constant state of aspiring to believe in myself more. And I make a lot of happy accidents when I do, but to get there is still very, very hard. I can't say that I'm even like what's the, oh golly, the thing where it's like, there's 4 stages of like knowing about something or like being expert on something. And it's like, when you know that you don't know about anything. And so you don't know that you don't know something.
Exactly.
You don't know something. You know it, but like you don't, like you're not an expert, and then like knowing and knowing. Like there are like 4 stages of that.
Right.
I feel very much on like the 3rd tier, like about believing myself when it comes to making things. Like I feel very like, I know that when I believe in myself, it's gonna be good, but I don't know if I can do that yet. I don't know.
All right, how can we help?
Oh, so nice.
Please, we are your minions. We do your
No, we
bidding.
want to because we want to support you in this, because this part of the creative process, this is the chrysalis. When you are actually when you are actually there getting, remember, when Lin-Manuel was doing Hamilton, he would just write this little piece and then he'd gather a group of people together and he'd play it, and then they would give comments and he'd go back and he'd rewrite. And that was all the process he was going through as he was building this iconic Hamilton. And as we're watching you, and one of the things that both Renee and I do is that we're absolute geniuses at spotting talent. And spotting talent that emerges, that is going to emerge and make a difference. And then when she spotted you and she brought me, she said, oh my God, you have to see her. You have to see Maggie. And so I did. And then when I saw you doing the character,
Let's do Man Up. I'm going to play it. Do you want me to just play it?
Would you play a Man Up? Because I want to talk about this.
So we got to talk about Man Up. Oh, holy shit. Okay, I'll just play maybe, I guess, the first.
Can you stay with us a little longer, Maggie, today?
Okay. Let's go a few minutes over, because I want to play a little bit of this Man Up. This is, to me, this is so brilliant. I can't even fucking.
Hello and welcome to Man Up. I am your host, Chip Johnson, and for the first time ever in my life, I'd like to apologize. I'm sorry for letting you down, loyal viewers. It has been a while since you've heard from me. Honestly, it's been a stressful year for even myself. I mean, that one week that just wouldn't end because they were still counting the votes for People's Sexiest Man Alive. And yes, I still refuse to accept the results. I am obviously the sexiest man alive if you don't count all of the dead people who voted for Michael B. Jordan. But that's in the past, and I don't like to dwell on it. Daddy's home. And I'm here to save you ladies with a new advice segment I'm calling Just the Tip. With Chip. Everyone's talking about the hot new social media app called TikTok. Lest we forget the original TikTok of your biological clock. Which brings me to my first topic. Dating. Ladies, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to snag a guy like me. Tip number 1. Be attractive. Attractiveness. It is subjective, but you should look like your father is a Russian oil baron. I'm not attracted to a woman unless she looks like a Baldwin brother. I don't like to date a woman unless she'd be hired by Fox News and then subsequently hushed by Fox News. And mostly, I'm attracted to what's right here. Nothing above a double D, lady. Your man has those small hands and not very much grip strength. Tip number 2. Men are not attracted to women who make more money than them. All of these jobs like lady lawyers or lady doctors. I'd like a lady with a more traditional job that I know about, like a baker or a candlestick maker or a stregonona. Tip number 3. If you don't know the entire discography of Ja Rule, then don't expect a second date. Now, tip D. I need a woman that I can introduce to my mother, so you better be prepared to eat a soft-boiled egg out of a little chalice. It's just like my mother used to sing to me. A soft-boiled egg a day in a little chalice will keep all your fears away. A soft-boiled egg in a little chalice.
I can't
will
turn it
help
off.
you
It's too good.
hit the hay. This has been Just the Tip
The timing.
with Chip. Fire Festival was a good time for some of us.
The way you held it, at
Holy
the
shit.
end of the song, and you held the edit to be able to hold it until that whole thing. Oh my God,
Timing.
your
Holy
timing and your writing and your delivery is just
Well, I
so
that is
right
Man Up is with
on.
a partner, conceived and head written by.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
How did you come up with this? And also, I mean, it's so convincing. It's so brilliant. I believe he exists. Chip Johnson is a real person. in
It
my
really
mind.
does. I mean, Chip
And-
has it.
And the specific humor, the Ja Rule discography, and hired by, but and subsequently hushed by, the very detailed, the Fire Festival. How do you get so specific?
Please let us know your writing partner on this.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Her name is Hunter Lang. She doesn't have any social media.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
No,
okay.
but just tell Hunter. I want to give a shout out because we performers who have writing partners and who be able to do what a gift to be. I love doubles to singles instead of singles. I love bridge to chess. I love the collaborative process.
It's really, it has been so refreshing because I've worked with a lot of different people, and like I've had all sorts of different kinds of collaborative projects and like different types of collaborations and stuff. But this one is definitely the easiest that I've had.
How wonderful.
Someone asked you to talk about the skip intro. It might be Robert who asked the skip intro.
It's probably Robert. Yes, Hunter is she's on my indie improv team that we're called Skip Intro, and we do improv based off of your favorite TV show to binge watch, whether or not we've watched it. That has to be Robert.
How wonderful.
How do you get the confidence and the chops? I mean, I'm just speaking as a woman. One of the things that I'm trying to learn as a woman is to allow myself to be funny and also to use physical humor, because I always thought that if I do that, there's somehow wrong. There's some kind of shame in it.
Yes.
And how do you as a woman do that? How do you give yourself permission?
That is a very real. That's like an incredibly fucking real feeling.
Yeah, I don't know that men can understand what that is.
No,
what
and this
that?
is
that
the
some kind of a?
so
I
tell
tried
me about
explaining
that.
it to him. Yeah, Maggie.
Because I don't. I mean, because she's so naturally funny. She has so much, and yet you have kept keep pulling it back.
Yeah, I used to think it was an insult when people would call me, particularly if a man would call me funny. I thought it was insulting.
I promise I'm gonna stop talking so Maggie can answer. I promise.
Okay, I'm gonna stop too. That's okay. Yes, Maggie, you're here for a reason. Yes,
I'm glad to know what you guys are experiencing as well. There's a weird noise coming out from outside of my apartment, and I don't know.
It sounds like a dog, maybe. I don't know.
Now it's a dog.
It's a part of the show.
Now it's part of the show.
Okay, do you need to go check? Do you need to go check on that?
There's very little I could do. I don't have much control. I think there was anything very wrong, I think more people would be responding. I think it's good. I think it's good. I feel
It's
Oh, yeah.
live
It'll be
television. You
fine.
can go and respond, and then that would become its own show. Like, what's going on with the dog? Like, we're going to be asked about the dog now.
There's a different cute dog out there, though, and that was cute. There's a little tiny white dog that just walked by the window.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So the question is about why have we been conditioned that we shouldn't be funny, we shouldn't use physical humor, we shouldn't allow ourselves to quote unquote look weird or any of that?
For sure. That? I mean, like that's like. I mean, for multiple reasons, like, or it shows up in so many different ways. Just like, if you are loud, if you show an opinion, if you one up a man, then you're not you're literally not usable, and you're not worth like being loved. Like it's literally like very aggressive programming. Oh, that's very nice.
Everybody loves you. You're getting so much love on a lot of different platforms.
And one of the things that we're doing, Maggie, in our the Tardan Media Network is devoted to the empowerment of women, because we believe that the Western world, like the Dalai Lama said, is going to be saved by the Western woman. We need your power. We need women to stand up, women across, and so that's what we're dedicating. We're dedicating a network too, because we do not. All of our program is going to be devoted toward the expansion and the empowerment through women and the men who support them.
That's amazing.
Yes, and you're at the forefront, Maggie. Like Maggie is someone.
Exactly.
One of the things too, Maggie, that I wanted to say is like what women always talk about is like a lot of times women don't push up other women. A lot of times there's a lot of competition and all of that sort of stuff. And women don't always trust each other. There's all of those kind of things. And to me, it seems like you're someone who's outside of that box where I don't get that from you, you know, and that's what we need is that example.
That's very, very kind and generous of you to say, but I'm definitely susceptible to all of that.
How human of you.
Of course. Like, yeah. I mean, it's just like very, very human and like very like just like really trying to fight against my own programming a lot of the time. And like I know how to like I at least have tools and resources and people where I can try really hard to fight against my internal programming to be jealous or spiteful. Because like it's just it doesn't logically make sense, you know, like, but we're just taught that it's scarcity. Like we're just taught that there literally isn't enough love and there isn't enough money or power or art to go around, and we need to shut out other women to get it. But it's just not true, and it doesn't make any sense. We all need to examine closely the shame we carry because it isn't our own.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much. This is Maggie. Here's the thing. I'm going to ask you publicly on air. Will you please come back? Will you be? Will you don't forget us.
Thank you. We would very much like to continue both this conversation, because this is
there's so much more
what we talk about. What we talk about here is that there is the spirituality that you embody is the spirituality of consciousness. And that's what we're doing. We're exploring consciousness in this, and we're exploring how do we show up, who we are, how do we show up as our best unique selves. Never has been that particular entity that has ever been, that has manifested in this particular way. So therefore, we are incomparable. There is nothing.
And in that, consciousness and conscientiousness.
Oh, I like that. That's beautiful. That's the writer. Maggie's the writer. That's how you know she's the writer.
That is be clear, direct, and kind, and be able to do it. Anyway, thank you, Maggie. Thank you for beginning.
Yes, I would love to come back.
We will do that, and we will continue to. That'll be on us. Allow us to continue to find ways to amplify your voice. and to amplify the things that you're doing, and let us be
Also,
one.
I just want to be around her. I just want to be around her. I want
That's the
excuses,
that's I'm
Excuses.
baiting the hook, Renee. Let me
Maggie,
please
we
let me
started the whole
let me
fucking
let
network
me
as a
bait
pretense just to be around you.
let me bait the hook, for God's sakes. I'm trying
Thank
to
you.
reel her in. I'm trying to reel her in a
I
nice
know.
way,
I'm sorry.
and
I
you
got
know.
insecure. I fucked it up. I told you I was gonna fuck it up. Damn it.
I'd love to hang out with you guys.
Let's do it. Okay, now here's the thing. We got to end on this. Troy Moore, he's a brilliant musician and an artist and everything. And I said to him, create something for the first Be Positive. And this is what he created. He said, well, who are the hosts going to be? I said, it's me and Dennis are going to be the main host. And this is what he sent me. And I want us all to react, everybody.
Awesome.
This is Troy Moore's creation. I told him it can be weird. It can be anything. So here it is. This is me and Dennis in
Great.
Troy
Never
Moore's
seen.
mind. Here, yes. Yes. Look at Maggie. Yes. Troy Moore. Holy
That's
shit.
so amazing.
If I were like, I was going to change my consciousness and transform if I allowed myself to go too deep into that. I feel like I need to do that separately.
No, that really, I'm going to find my psilocybin mushrooms. I'm going to get them out of the freezer, and I'm going to play that, and I'm just going to put it in a loop, and just do that, and that's going to be it. And
They'll be 18 hours.
Yeah.
Dennis will not be showing up for the rest of the week. He will
Yeah.
be in the psilocybin. Thank you, Troy.
Just in a
Moore,
haze.
so much.
Anyway, thank you, Troy.
amazing.
We'll have it. Anyway, Maggie,
Maggie,
thank you
be
again for your
be sweet.
kindness and for your willingness to play with us, and we'll get a chance. And please give our best to Hunter, and tell her, and just tell her how great that is, and we would love to be able
help me
to
get the Rust Brothers on this show.
Yes.
Help me get the
God,
Rust
I can
Brothers.
definitely. We do have our first live show back for Man Up is January 5th. At oh my god, not the Duplex. Oh my god, where is it? I'm blanking because I'm pitching.
Text it to me, and we'll
text
put it
it,
in the
and we'll put it in
enter
in the link that we put up on YouTube, and then we put it then on the network where we have. But we would like to see you before then.
Sure, love that too.
Okay, we love you, and remember, everybody, be